Almost swooped that.
Inevitably, if you have watched any Stark Varg ride video, you've probably seen a pro or A-class industry guy absolutely shred on one of these things. I'm not that guy, and does it make sense for somebody like me to pick up a Stark Varg? That's what we're gonna answer today. First thing we have to do is get this thing set up. Now you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I always am riding my KTM 250 SXF, which means I don't need 80 horsepower to be ran on this Stark Varg. So we're gonna meet up with the Stark rep, Justin. He's gonna set things up for me, and then we'll head out onto the track. Let's go.
We'll do 40 horsepower, about 65 engine braking, which is gonna be about a 250. Then I'll do 45 and 65, which is going to be about a KTM 350. And then for map 3, we'll do 50 horsepower, 65, which is going to be getting you into the 450 power range. Do 55 horsepower, which is going to be roughly a slightly modded 450, so maybe a 450 with like a pipe and a new ECU. Blinking green means it is in neutral. You'll also see the indicator N right there. To put the bike into drive, you'll just press down. It's in gear, ready to go. To go up through your map, so 250, 350, 450, modded 450. So all at the tip of your fingers, super easy. When you feel comfortable, just bump it up to the next map, and basically you have a whole new bike ready to go. To put it back in neutral, just hold until you see blue. You'll see the indicator light pop back up, and then flashing green means you're in neutral, nothing will happen. If you press up, nothing will happen. You have to press down, put it in drive, and then you're ready to go.
What do you think, dude?
Pretty cool.
You can already see people looking at me wondering why the hell my bike's not making any sound. Motoland MX. So the plan here is just to head out to the vet track, get an idea of how this thing feels. Here we go. Right off the bat, not having to use any clutch or anything is awesome. Not really looking to jump anything quite yet. Okay, get an idea about the power delivery here. The power delivery is so smooth right now to have it set up, obviously. What's weird is too, though, I hear obviously I don't hear a whole lot of engine from me, but I hear everybody around me. Man, this thing turns so good. It's actually kind of crazy. Damn, man. Okay, so when you pull the throttle to adjust that front end up, or adjust the rear end down more specifically, it moves real quick. This thing is absolutely awesome. I know I've only done one lap, but I already feel so comfortable on it. I'm doing a lot of standing with almost no sitting around because the bike feels so balanced It just doesn't feel like I need to sit down as much. Yeah, dude, in the turns, this thing is bad to the bone. It doesn't want to stand up. Whoop, that was a little bit. Pick up the pace just a little bit through here. Now that we know how the bike's gonna run. There we go. Woo! Choke up a little bit on this one. I'm not having to dance around, right? And I say dance around, what I mean is I don't have to clutch, brake, and do a bunch of adjustment because of the fact that it doesn't have a clutch, there's no gears.
So it was right about here where I totally forgot about the video and really just started vibing with the bike. This thing is fun, and what I can tell you is you can get as aggressive or be as chill as possible on this bike, and you will have a lot of fun no matter what you decide you want to do.
This thing is ridiculously fun, dude.
Once I wrapped up my moto, I really wanted to get back with Justin and Angel, who were both riding Vargs as well. As you can see, they absolutely shred. So once again, it doesn't matter your riding style or how good you are, you can ride the Stark Varg.
So there's one word that comes to mind when I think about the Stark Varg, and that word is intuitive. So probably 3 things that I can tell you when it comes to the Stark Varg that are really impressive. Number 1 is the time that you have on the bike and the charge that it keeps. This bike had about 45 minutes run time with me on the bike, and there were 2 other riders here today that decided to give this thing a whirl. And this bike is still at 33% charge. So it's definitely more than half an hour or 45 minutes that you hear so much online. Number 2, this bike has all sorts of torque. And you twist that throttle, it wants to go. Especially when you're in the mid-air trying to bring your front end back up. If you twist that throttle, the response of the bike is immediately and it adjusts itself accordingly. So I really had to learn where the throttle needed to be, not only riding, but if I was trying to bring that back end down, a little tap was more than enough to get that bike to straighten out. One thing that I thought was crazy impressive when it came to this bike is the way it corners. It wants to corner. You put it in the position you want to and turn that throttle, and it doesn't want to stand back up. It also doesn't want to fight you as to what you're doing. It literally feels like what you want to do, it wants to do, and it has all the power in the world to do it. I rode it in 2 maps, the 250 map and 350 map. Some of the other riders that rode here today were in the 450 map and a wild map that we had on here, which was more in the 70 to 75 horsepower range. Overall, I want to say that the real big divide on this bike will always end up being the price until more electric bikes are out there. I said before, my normal day-to-day bike is a 2022 KTM 250 SXF. And it didn't take me more than a couple rides to get used to that bike and how it rode coming off of a Honda and a couple other bikes before I rode this KTM. This bike, on the other hand, because there's no clutch, there's no shifting, and it's so intuitive, it literally took me 2 laps before I was trying to jump everything out there. It is so easy to figure out and learn on because of the map development and how the power is delivered to the person who's riding it. If you're a vet rider, do not take this off of your list of bikes to ride. Just because you see dudes throwing 80-foot big whips and doubles doesn't mean that this bike can't be for you. Special thanks to Justin Bellerose and Stark Varg for giving me the opportunity to ride this thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so yet, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.